am so excited to share this root chakra healing with you. So I got the experience rolling. I know everything that happens in this whole journey. It's about 30 minutes long. It's not just the root chakra. It literally is all the chakras. And the root is the mastermind healing for bringing balance to the totality from head to toe, for your whole aura, for your soul at the center of an infinite universe even. So expect to feel a true next level kind of effervescence, enlightenment, wisdom, healing for your totality. So the best way to experience it is just to relax and enjoy. So in saying that, I'm going to roll out the tape here. And this is for you to help you have a more enriched day and to help you feel more grounded and to help you feel truly bright and beautiful in your life. Enjoy. We're starting with this scene, and you can close your eyes, relax, and follow along with me. The scene is a really thick glass window. Seems like a large, it's not a bullet, it's more like a cannonball. Literally just pushed its way through that window. It didn't shatter it, but it has a big hole in it. And I'm looking at this hole. I even take my finger and I rub my finger around. It's a bit sharp. Not because it has jagged pieces, but it has fragments, little grains of sand, of bits of glass. And they get into my finger and they make my finger hurt a little bit. Kind of like if you touch insulation, it has those little pieces of glass that you couldn't possibly see. It makes your hands itch. They're showing me that this root chakra healing, it's not just about being grounded. It's about your heart too. This reveals a big old hole. Not an easy hole to fix either. I mean, we're going to have to replace this window, get a brand new one. Like that's what we're up against here. It's like the type of hole that can't ever be fixed. This is associated with the heart chakra. So while we're doing healing for the root, the best way to heal the root is also to work with the heart chakra today. Do you have something of a hole in your heart? Whether you feel strongly you've mended it, because that can happen too. You know, I have a couple of instances where I really felt a hole in my heart, and a hole that couldn't be mended or healed. And I still think about that time in my life. But you could say, you know, I've really grown and moved on from all of that. But something in time still says it's there. Let's work on this. Let's heal this. And sometimes we don't know how to heal those holes in our heart and we just live with them, you know. And so this familiarity with the hole in the window is a hole in the heart. Somewhere in time, your soul is nodding and saying, okay, I'm ready to face this. I'm ready to heal this at a next level. That's going to help my heart feel better and my root chakra feel better. It's going to help me feel better as a human being in my life today. All right, my guides are showing me this window, and the hole represents the past. And so we're just going to see that there is no window. If there's no window, there's no definable hole. Now we just have a big open space between, it's almost like the top and the sides and the bottom of a wall, because that's what a window is, right? It's this cutout of a wall. And there's nothing separating where we stand from this side to what is on the outside of the wall, because there's no window there. Now this is getting very strange. Like, what does this mean? I have a bigger hole in my heart? Does this mean something brand new is happening that I can't understand? Does this mean I'm completely open and exposed to the outer elements? What does this mean exactly? What does this have to do with my root chakra? Okay, we're going to remove the wall now. And now we're going to remove the floor. And we're going to remove everything that ever was defined as an interior space with an external reality. We're just removing it all until there's really nothing but just a place to stand in an infinite universe. No boundaries, no walls, no windows, no holes. Now your heart is breathing. Your heart feels that it's in a familiar place that is expanded in every direction. It's breathable, it's nice, it's fresh air completely. It's the whole infinite universe. Now that the heart is breathing, it's at peace, there's no boundaries. I see that it glows with light, and it sends that light into the root chakra. It actually bats its eyes like it has super long eyelashes. It kind of looks like Betty Boop in some ways. And so the heart is glowing, very Betty Boop-like, batting its eyelashes and blowing a kiss here to the root chakra. It's very cute. And I see there's a little jig, a little dance in the heart, and it says boop boop be doop. It does that. Continues to blow kisses to the root. You know, there's another part of this root chakra healing, and it's to clear something of the mind's perception. Something of the third eye and the crown chakra. Because everything we thought we knew, everything we decided we could know in some way, shape, or form, we gave it life, we gave it meaning, and now we let it go. We let it go to the point there's no window, there's no hole, there's no wall, there's no structure of an inner or outer world. There's just an infinite universe. And the more the mind is allowed to see this, the more it lets down its guard too. Letting down all of its walls so that it can inhale and exhale. It's breathable, it's alive, it's expanded. The eye is open. That's not just a third eye thing, it's a crown chakra thing. Because the crown chakra is really, it's just this higher vibrational energy point. It really helps us bring in, it's like funnels in all the most expanded ideas so that the third eye could take a look. But the crown chakra also interacts with the heart too. And the throat has to give voice to all of this information. So you can start to see why all the chakras are important and how they all work together. There's also an emotional digestion of it, the solar plexus. And then we've got this sacral chakra and the sacredness of you, right? You are a sacred being. And love that is sacred, intimacy that is sacred, nature that is sacred. It's interesting when you start talking about sacredness and we look at modern day society. Do you feel that when you get into your sacred car and you drive to your sacred job and you do your sacred work, and you get your sacred paycheck, right? And you deposit it into your sacred bank account. And you watch your sacred TV. Do you see when you start adding the word sacred to things, it's like, how come it doesn't feel very sacred? So it's something you can build upon. Just by adding the word in, it adds a sacred meaning to it, sacred meaning to life. Even if life is a car and a job and a paycheck and a bank account, it's still sacred life, right? But it's the sacredness of you and the sacredness of life and the way that life is. And we can treat that with love and respect. We can be treated with love and respect in return or feel as though we aren't being treated in that way. But life and you are still sacred. So you see the sacral chakra, and now I'm giving voice to the meaning of a sacral chakra, you see? And that's an emotional thing, it's a heart thing, it's a perceptive thing. It's a higher mind, it's a rooted, grounded thing. It's like all the chakras are getting to say hello to us today. and this root chakra healing, you know? It's kind of cool. So I see that the third eye and the crown are kind of like buddies. And they both have identical eyeballs that are wide open. It's a bit strange, like they're twins right now. We have the twin here at the forehead, and then we have the twin here just hovering above the head, and it's just two eyeballs open, and they look like identical eyes. And something is still a bit hidden. I place my finger upon the third eyeball, and then I place a finger upon the crown chakra eyeball. This is my right hand on the third eye. This is my left hand on the crown chakra. And the eyes get angry at me and they say, stop poking me in the eye. And I start to realize there's a strange being here. So I kind of move the energy around and then I pull this strange being out. And I take a look at it. Its eyes are kind of spinning in circles. And it looks like a confused owl. It looks like it's tired as well. It looks like it wants to see, but whenever it tries to see, it gets poked in the eyes. It feels confused as to how to see better, how to see more, and how to understand what it sees. I take the owl and I send it to God. That's just a concept of I can't see. That's what the owl represents. Some part of your mind, your subconscious, some part of being human is frustrated. And you don't need that frustration anymore. What you need is to acknowledge that you do see things clearly. And that you're seeing things clearly, and even more clearly, every single day, okay? There's something now of the inner child, which I can see the inner child in the sacral chakra and the heart are really vibrant places where I see the inner child, but it exists everywhere in all the chakras. But I see this inner child is really delirious, kind of confused, kind of dehydrated, kind of lost. I see it struggles to find voice, as in to find the words to explain what it sees. And then if it finds the words to explain it, it isn't believed. And then it starts to doubt itself as well. Well, I explained it, and then I was told this. And so either A, I'm just going to go with it, believe that myself, or I'm just going to keep doing this my way and with my eyesight. This is very, very exhausted. This is like 40 days, 40 nights in a desert. Inner child, eyeballs, just like the owl, kind of swirly, confused, uncertain, dehydrated kind of energy. So I take this inner child emanation and then I just place it in the hand of God. Because it's energy that needs time in source, okay? Whether that's truly a part of your inner child or that's just an energy communication at this time, there's an attachment. And so when I move this energy into God's hands, I'm disconnecting the attachment to it. So now this sounds, the radio station, everything that is your mind's perception is aligning with, I see things clearly. I'm not confused and squirrely in my eyes. I'm not dehydrated. I'm drinking plenty of water, if that's a physical thing. Let's say if that truly is a sign that, hey, reminder, make sure you're drinking more water. You can say, I drink lots of water. Even if you don't, but you say, I drink lots of water, and then you will start finding yourself drinking a lot more water. You have to stick with it though, because you have to really shift the program to the truth is, I drink a lot of water. Get glass, fill it up with water, drink it. And now you start to do this instinctively, unconsciously, aligning with the statement, I drink a lot of water. I'm perfectly hydrated. So everything that said otherwise, send it to God And now we are aligning with this divine truth. This is the divine truth. And we're catching up with that divine truth so that we truly are standing in the divine truth. I see things clearly. I drink lots of water. I'm hydrated. My inner child is healthy. My inner child is vibrant. My inner child is loved. My childlike spirit is full of love and shares love with me too. And I see that is true. I see it clearly. All this conversation is very nurturing for the top of your head. Like I feel those vibrations just flowing through here, like buzzing through this third eye and this crown. It feels quite nice. It is very nice. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm basically tapping into really positive vibrations. You can do this too anytime. You just have to, it's almost like if you could take a really good memory and feel again how good it felt in that memory. Now, not the memory, it's not really the memory that matters. It's not like what you saw, what you did, what it was about. It's that feeling is what matters. And so when you start to buzz that feeling, like right now, I'm buzzing that feeling for you. I'm buzzing that feeling for your third eye and for your crown. I'm also buzzing that feeling for your throat and for your heart and your solar plexus and your sacral chakra and your root chakra. I'm buzzing that feeling, okay? We don't have to know everything. We can just enjoy buzzing that feeling and letting that feeling really nurture and heal and cleanse and harmonize our totality in ways that we can't logically know everything. But we can know that feeling, and we can give ourselves that feeling like a sponge just soaking up the water, but the feeling is good. It's soaking up the good, okay? All right, now that I've been guided in these directions here, that we've witnessed the window with the strange hole in it. Like, we've gone there with the third eye and the crown, and we've got to see some things, right? And we got to work with the good vibes here. Now, let's go into that root chakra, shall we? Come on now, universe, hello, thank you. Clapping, applauding, all this wonderful process. I'm very curious about the root chakra part of this. It's fun how the universe guides us. I can see why there's a need to move some energy in the upper stacks. What I'm shown here about the root is that it's almost throat chakra like as well. It just feels a bit crushed in the voice. And when the voice is a bit crushed, then now I start to see the inner child and how is my voice heard? How am I translated and understood? How do I understand my reality? Do I understand it correctly, incorrectly? So then doubting oneself based on how one is received, interpreted, and communicated with. And so I see that in the root, there's just this sort of heavy weight, and it's like crushing that energy space. It's like holding up a lot of weight. And then it's a bit stifling on the throat, on the voice. So we're going to just let it be. The goal isn't to just make that energy go away, because then that's, I don't like you energy, go away. Not the best way to heal it. The best way to heal it is say, oh wow, you're really weighed down. I can feel that. I can see that. There's a lot of energy weight here. I'm speaking to the energy weight itself. I'm also speaking to the root, which I value greatly. And I can see the root really needs some support. Can you help me understand energy weight? Why? Like what is your need for existence? Did you know that the root has been struggling under the weight of you? Let's get to know each other a little bit better. You talk to energy like this and it'll start to work itself out. that's the approach I like to take, because I like to get to know energy like people. And I like to reconcile the weird relationships that we have with energy subconsciously. It also can parallel the weird relationships that we have in our human life with real people, or with ourself, or with our memories, or with God. I mean, we have relationships of all different kinds with our pets, with the way that we cook dinner or don't. Eat right, don't eat right. We're on time or we're always late. Like, these are also relationships. I started to see the heavy weight is, it's like ashamed. It's like the fat lady is singing, but she's very ashamed of herself and she's stifling her voice. Well, she's got a very powerful voice because everybody is teasing her about her weight. And she's ashamed of it because she can't fix it. It's like this problem that she has that she can't fix. So she can't ever be enough for herself. Then she'll always be then doomed to be teased for this reason. And so the energy weight is like the fat lady singing who stopped singing because she was ashamed of her weight, and then people were hard on her about it and she couldn't fix it. And I start to notice the emotional gut is crying. It basically represents any time in your life where you felt like you couldn't fix your own problems and that they were visible to everybody. That people could see you for the shameful things that you couldn't really change about yourself or the way that you are at that time or even at this time. So there's a lot of shame involved in it. It's like something that you can't hide, something that everybody can see about you. It's also something you see about yourself and you're scrutinizing it. And you then are it's like the crowd of people pointing at yourself. It's either real people or it is the people of your own mind. Your own self-loathing, like self-hatred, because we all work through our emotions differently. So some of us can be very hard on ourselves more than others. Or it could be the world that is hard on us. Or both. So there's a lot of energy weight here, and I see the emotional gut, solar plexus, is just wanting to cry. Because it is an emotional state of feeling defeated by one's own self, one's own circumstance, one's own reality, and then being judged for it. So it's pretty emotionally hard, and there's shame involved. I see this is also the sacredness of who you are is defiled when you feel defeated in so many ways. So it's coarse, you know. I hear mean things like, the sacredness of that fat woman, the sacredness of that horrible voice of hers. Thank God she shut up. Like, I hear a lot of mean voices, okay? And so again, it's like cruel language, outside or inside language, inside yourself or the external world, and how cruel people can be, but how cruel you could be to yourself. So a lot of this is just releasing. Yeah, we're talking about it, but we're releasing it. We're just releasing it out. Because it's okay to go through these times. It's pretty unbearable, but it makes a very interesting human being who goes through these times. And I like people who have a lot of diverse experiences. I've been pointed out of a crowd. I've had to endure hardship. I've had to conquer it. So much is clearing out of the whole aura. It's almost like something inside yourself, something in the subconscious, something in the silent realms, but you just kind of live with it. You soak in it without realizing it. It's like I wanted to have voice, wanted to talk about some of these memories, some of these recalls, something from the soul timeline, even other lifetimes. Oh my gosh, a lot is just draining off, just clearing out a lot of energy weight. I just keep seeing a melted ice cream cone, but it's like the size of a whale. And so try to imagine a giant ice cream cone and the ice cream is melting. It's running everywhere. But the more and more of it melts, it's not an emptiness that is what remains. It's feeling like you have access to your true frequencies, to your true essence. This is starting to make the solar plexus or the sacral chakra glow. Actually see that. It's like once the emotions are acknowledged, once that love is happened, it's safe to just be the way it is and to talk about it, the defeat and the shame and all that, the inability to change it. It's okay to feel all these ways. But as it all melts and all these emotions are released, the sacral chakra can breathe because it's under the weight of it all too. It's just starting to breathe and it's starting to glow. And now I start to understand, this is very cool, that it's like this whole journey was inspired by the root, like the mastermind of the root, you know. We don't think about the root being a brain, you know. All of our chakras are masterminds. And the root and its mastermind knew that all the other chakras needed this, that they needed the support of each other. They needed to get this out of their system. We need to clear out what we could clear out today to help your whole energy field feel freaking awesome. Because you deserve it. You deserve to feel beautiful and amazing and truly aligned with who you genuinely are. The root now is very light. It's kind of interesting. You don't think of the root as a place that is lightweight. Maybe you don't even think about weight at all with root. You might think of Mother Earth energies. But this is like a very lightweight. It just feels so lightweight in here. Airy, breathable, fresh air. Starting to return to that place where there's no window, there's no structures. It's not about what's inside or outside. It's just this infinite universe. The heart is home in the infinite universe, that all your chakras are part of the heart, a part of the soul and the spirit of all that you are. And you're breathable, you're standing, you're home. Like, it's an infinite universe, and it's you're at the center of it all. It's freaking great. I kind of like, I kind of do this like bow, like a sacred bow to the universe. And I thank the universe for all of this, for everything. Like, I feel so grateful for everything. Like, to be able to navigate this strange message, which you get started and you don't really know what the experience is going to be like. You don't know how it's going to go. And maybe you want to know, but you have to let go of wanting to know. And then you just get to follow along. And now you understand so much more by the end of it all. And I just feel so grateful to have this whole experience. So I feel wiser for it. I feel gifted from it. And I'm so happy that I could share this with you too. Because we all need these kinds of gifts, you know? So that is it. That's what I meant to share today. Oh, wow. I feel amazing. I hope you feel amazing too. The nice thing about energy work is, yeah, there's enlightenment. And there's a lot of explanation that I offer, or viewpoints that I offer. But if you let the energy just circulate and do the work, you'll start to find yourself feeling this effervescence throughout the day, throughout the next several days. And just let it work its magic on you, you know? This is root chakra healing. It's also a gift to all the chakras. So let it work its magic, and you can tap into this anytime you need to. All right, thank you so much for being a part of this experience with me. I'm looking forward to doing the sacral chakra, seeing what what that is like, right? So each chakra is going to have a different sort of mastermind message, experience, and transformation for just the sacral chakra, or all the chakras. Again, I'm not sure how it's going to be navigated. Just open the door to the universe and see what comes. So we'll see what comes. That's what I got for now. Wish you a very magical day. And thank you again for being a part of this experience with me.